Hi guys, and welcome to day 6, I believe, of the MLIO tournament. We have Draconum Sports versus Equilibrium, which is going to be a little bit tricky for us since they both have the same what do you call that? It's got tag.
Yeah, I guess that would be the name for it. Can't really call it a logo, so let's just call it a tag. And welcome everyone to day 6 of MLIO group stages. We have Equilibrium versus Draconum Esports, and just jumping into there, we see a Guinevere ban, Aurora as well from the side of Equilibrium, and Diggy and Xborg on the side of Draconum Esports, which kind of reminds me of yesterday's matches. The almost the exact same bands from yesterday, hey?
Yeah, it was. The only difference is the Quinn.
Yeah, it was Aurora and Tigreal, right? Aurora and Tigreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Laura, Tig, Diggy, and the ball.
But we do see the Arlot being picked up first pick by Equilibrium. I'm not really sure how Arlot works in this meta. I know that he is really, really good as a damage character, so obviously you would take him off Roam, so he doesn't work that much as a flex pick. And then we see the Kadita being picked up and probably Barats as well. CC. They lock in CC and then Leslie and Yuzong for Draconum Esports. I'm not really sure about this Leslie pick, eh? Like, she takes so long to actually just get it to become useful in the game because her build is really, really expensive.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I feel like there's a lot of other MMs who would have been better in this scenario.
Hey, you know, like I always say, if you don't know what to pick, just pick Hanabi.
Okay, we see a Martyrs fan coming in. Not really sure why they ban Martyrs because I mean the enemy probably already has their XP laner. I'm pretty sure they're gonna use the Arlott as jungle or XP or something. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, for right now, I do think that they might take CC into the jungle because Arlott doesn't really go well into Roam right now. So that for sure
Yeah,
should be going
exactly.
EXP.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a very good Akai to counter that Tigreal, just, you know, negating his ultimate skill. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Implosion. And as you know, Akai's ultimate can be used as a purify. So there is that, and then Nathan being picked up as a jungler. It seems to me that Equilibrium is going for a bit of a unique draft this time around. I'm not really sure.
I mean, I see a Fetchy on the Nathan. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about Retchi and Nathan?
Uh, uh, I don't know. I mean, at like maybe a few seasons ago, I said, yeah, sure, I'm fine with that. But nowadays, I don't know. Like, I mean, there is a Yuzong there. There is the Ruby, that you know when if the Nathan has to out in, oh, hey, hold on a second, Ruby jungle.
I
Okay.
okay, never mind. Um,
You know what? This is the time to test things out, and we will reap the benefits as viewers of wherever these people are cooking.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll just
let,
have to
let
see.
them cook. Let them cook. So
And yeah, before we hand it over to the commentators, which draft do you prefer?
I'm I'm gonna say I prefer Equilibrium's draft, although that might be a little bit biased, but yeah, I do prefer Equilibrium's draft because I mean I know the players, and they're really good players. I don't know anyone on the side of Draconum Esports, so I haven't seen them playing before, and I don't really like their draft much because I'm not really sure how I feel about Ruby Jungle. But yeah, what do you think?
Well, I think it's time to hand it over to the commentators. So, yeah.
Are you evading the question?
No. I think it's just a good time. Anyways, back to you, Seppi and Airi.
All right, thank you, Doof, for that insight. Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. I was expecting the gold lane to be occupied by this by Juju on his R-Lot, but actually it's going to be switched around. It's going to be the Kadita top lane in the gold lane there and the R-Lot mid. So it's very, very interesting strategy coming out from Equilibrium. They like to sort of pull out these weird things out of their hats already. But we're already going to see a little bit of a jump in the blue lane here, and I mean in the blue buff sort of area. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit, and sorry, not giving you much of a chance to talk here, Ari, but there's a lot of action happening.
Yeah, man. A lot of action way too early in the in the game. Kind of aggressive play. I'm kind of interested in to see how this will pan out. Hi everybody. I even forgot to say my welcome. But hi everybody. My name is Avi, and today me and Seppi will be your casters for both games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's Equilibrium and Draconum. Opposite to what Sarah said, I actually know Draconum Esports. They were part of a tournament I casted in, so I know how skillful they are. So I know we're in treat for a wonderful game. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting one for sure. We got this Kadita gold lane, it's all up mid, so things are going to be very, very weird, chaotic, and surprising. I'm not sure how I feel about this Kadita gold lane. I feel like she doesn't have enough wave clear to effectively utilize the gold lane properly, but we'll just have to see how it works. We're going to see the CC ultimate. It's going to lock down 2 targets already, and the turtle's starting to fall down. The Black Dragon form is coming from the back here. I don't know if he's going to be able to contest it with this. The Retribution should be out from the side of the blue team just now. There it is. Goes to the side of Natan, and now this Yuzhong is trying to fight it out, but he's not going to be able to make it much longer. Moba Juju is going to get the kill onto him, and the heavy spin is going to lock down Deadly STLH on his TIG, and now all of a sudden there's going to be another kill, gang from the gold lane. Kadita just pulling up. Equilibrium definitely brought all of the members into this fight, and it definitely paid off.
Yeah, man, that's wonderful rotation by the Kadita. I didn't even notice him coming in. It's a bit of a stealth play. And in the meantime, I think Trix got the blue buff. Did he?
I believe so. I mean, I don't see Ruby with a blue buff right now.
He not only did he get the turtle, but also the blue buff. Especially on a marksman jungle, you know how not so great they are in the early game, but they're managing to play this really well, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Natan definitely needs a bit of items in order to be quite effective in this game, because yeah, he is a marksman. He does get that less benefit. Like, it's harder to clear jungle as a marksman in the jungle. So yeah, I mean, he's just gonna have to wait it out, play it nice and slow. Although his team playing at a very high tempo at the moment, so maybe he needs to try and keep up as best as he can. I haven't seen Robin play a Kai that much. Oh, we're talking about mid lane here. Over Juju getting a kill on Valia. Now that's a surprising one.
Yeah, he almost died. He almost died there, but I think he used the flicker. But now we're seeing a bit of a skirmish on the top lane. I think the rough wave is used as well. So I don't know if Draconum noticed that. That is a useful ult in team fights, especially with Deadly still having that implosion. But the heavy spin is used up here by Robin. He is low, but does manage to escape, as he also uses that vengeance as well. A lot of ults and a few battle spells used here, but not really much. They didn't really gain much from that skirmish.
Yeah, I mean, that heavy spin angle was really good by Robin there, but it just wasn't really enough to sort of bring them out of position. As we're going to see the turtle fight, it's going to be started up here. Kadita coming in with the rough waves, although it kind of whiffs in the end, like stopped by the Black Dragon, but he does get the kill onto Baldwin on his Valia. We're going to see another Ocean Oddity coming in and knocking up 2 members of Draconum here, but he's not going to be able to finish up the kill here. Oh, looking at the Zhuzhong, though, he's going to get taken out by this Arlot. Huge amounts of damage coming from him. Now that's a hero I also want to talk about a bit. I've managed to try this all out with damage, and the numbers feel a bit higher, honestly, in terms of the heals. Instead of going like when you go full tank build on Arlot, you heal like, I don't know, 700 health or something. But when you buy a Blade of Despair on Arlot, the numbers go to like 1,000, 1,200, man. So you're a lot squishier, but you heal a lot more with this build. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, I think it's down to was he revamped or changed something about his passive?
Well, yeah. So it's a second skill that changed specifically, where he gets he used to get healing based off of his max HP, but now it's based off of his attack. We're gonna see Tigro going in with a flicker here. He has implosion, but he doesn't want to use it. He doesn't have the implosion actually. It's gonna be a killing spree for Juju, just blowing him up. We're gonna see Mobochad going in onto the sidelines here, and Yu Zhong wants to go in the front line for himself, but he's gonna get taken out by J-Trix on his Natan, doing so much damage right now. It's going to make it a double kill. And in the back line as well, Moba Juju killing off that Leslie. And this is insane. I mean, they're just pushing their advantage fully here.
Yeah, kind of reminiscence of last game. But as you're saying, the MOBA man coming in with the MOBA play and getting the kill. It's kind of interesting now. You're seeing a bit of a 12-0 kills here in this game, but it's not even the 7th minute yet, especially with the type of late game composition it seemed as though Equilibrium were going for. So shout outs to them, man. Shout outs to them. Even their items as well. So as you see here, the mobile chat already has the War Axe as well as the Brute Breastplate, if I'm not mistaken. I think I may be botching that name. It kind of shows that I'm not an EXP player, but what do you think about this game so far, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they did draft a very early game tempo sort of draft, especially with the Natan. I mean, obviously it is a marksman, it takes a little bit of time, but once he gets 1 or 2 items, it's not a late game sort of hero. We're gonna see the Ocean Oddity coming in for Kadita as well. They're gonna blow up 2 members, just completely there. Moba Juju, just completely cleaning up, making it very easy for themselves as they're going to approach this high ground now. And oh my god, someone's in deep. It's going to be Robin. My phone is really hot right now, so I can't actually see this fight. But now that I'm back, everyone's dead. Although the Equilibrium lost 2 members trying to do this, but I feel like it's really worth. They got the tower and 3 kills.
Yeah, they got the inhibitor tower within 8 minutes as well, man. That was a bit of a weird play by Robin, but fortunately for him, his team managed to come up with a counterplay, if I may, to just come up with like a few things from that skirmish. But I think I don't know about you, but I think that's the way Draconum can come back in this game. You're seeing how aggressive Robin is with these engages. So if one, misstep from him, also a follow-up from his team at the wrong time, I think Draconum can come back from this. What do you think about their chances? Because I do still think they have a chance, although the Ruby jungle is a bit weird.
I mean, listen, the Ruby jungle can do a few things. I believe that they should be able to do it with a big implosion like that, but it whiffs. Akai has that heavy spin, as Doof was talking about, with the Purify, so it stops that 4-man implosion from ever happening. So, oh my god, I'm going to see some more damage coming out as well from Juju, cleaning up kills ever so often, and the Ocean Oddity with the rough waves comes in, kills up the Valia as well. I mean, geez, I don't even know what to say here. They're just going full on into their base. Ruby missing out the arm offended as well. They're just got to go for an end here, honestly. I don't feel like... I mean, sure, they have a chance, but it doesn't look like it much right now anymore. It's gonna happen. Leslie's like only 1 item in. She's gonna need a lot more items if she wants to defend this base. And it looks like Equilibrium, they're kind of looking towards ending soon.
Yeah, they're kind of looking towards ending soon. As you see here, the Natan damage starting to pop off, as he's doing a lot of damage to the Leslie, forcing him to go back into the base. But I don't think they'll try to press their advantage here, as they do decide to disengage. with the advantage they have, I don't know if I don't know if they'll, commit to a base attack as Trix decides to go for the Lord instead. But yeah, but that was wonderful play by Equilibrium there, man. Also wonderfully managed side lanes as well, or minions if I'm mistaken on that account, because they managed to come at Draconum on all different sides. So it's wonderful game management from them.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's in their name, isn't it? Equilibrium. They're trying to equalize the minion lanes, making sure that they come in at the same time. So if you're called Equilibrium, they should know how to do that. Oh, we're gonna see the conceal play. Actually, they're gonna be really aggressive with this. Though. Oh, the rough waves comes out a bit early, but they're gonna be able to blow up the Yuzhong before he pops this Black Dragon. Oh, there's the implosion once again. He actually lands onto 2. It's actually not bad initiation coming in from Draconum, but it's not gonna be enough. It's gonna be Mobajuji cleaning up the Leslie. They're doing at least get Moba Chad, but they're still H4s as well. The Villiers trying to do as much damage as possible, but he's trying to push them away from his base. But I do not feel like they can defend this one. The Lord is gonna be marching down here. This Ruby can only just stay in the front line and try and delay the game as much as possible, but it's not going to happen. They at least get Juju, but the Lord will finish the base up.
yes, and Equilibrium Esports take the first game of this best of 3 series, man. That's wonderful play from them. I just want to hear from the panelists, what do they think about the game?
Oh, the game was quite interesting. We saw quite a few things. I mean, Ruby Jungle didn't really work out as planned for Draconum Esports, but is this some kind of new meta that we're seeing, or a type of strategy? Because look, there's a mage in the gold lane, there's an assassin type of hero, or an early type of hero in the mid lane, and then there's a marksman in the jungle. So what's going on? um, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I'd have to see a bit more of this type of strategy being played for me to think it actually works. But it's working right here and now, so it's good enough. What about you, Samara? If you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. No, I was watching that match and um yeah, I agree with you. The Ruby jungle, we were skeptical about it at the start, and yeah, it didn't work so well for them. And their Leslie as well wasn't really doing the most, and they were like heavily underfarmed. So that really did impact them, and the Leslie wasn't able to push out as much damage as she was supposed to be. Um, and yeah, even though Equilibrium had quite a weird draft, uh, they were able to pull that off so seamlessly. But like you always say, Doof, it always, comes down to execution, and they really executed that well.
Yeah, I think if it serves as an example, I think this game just basically proves me right on the execution of drafts.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, at least I know that I'm not spouting nonsense half the time. That's good. Okay.
Okay, we're waiting for someone. Um,
Yeah, just waiting for someone from Draconum Esports. What you mean, really? There's like, we're waiting for one person.
things happening. Yeah, Dave, to talk about your sort of thing, I feel like it's not necessarily a new meta, more so that Equilibrium just sort of like to do these fancy things and like catch enemies off guard with it. I feel like that's more their strategy. If Draconum Esports knew how to like probably effectively counter, let's say the gold lane Kadita, then maybe they would have been able to see through the weakness of this unusual draft.
Yeah, I mean, definitely picking a marksman that's not really that good in the laning phase definitely did put them in more of a disadvantage than they would be. I mean, look, one disadvantage comes from Equilibrium picking these heroes in a wacky order into these wacky roles, like Nathan Jungle, whereas you'd expect him in gold lane, Kadita in gold lane, where you'd expect her in mid lane, and a lot in mid lane, where you'd expect him in EXP. So that definitely, like, if you were to be the team drafting against this, you would think they go into their usual lanes, but no, they pulled up and said no, this is how we're doing it, and that caught them a bit off guard as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as you said as well, it's just that Leslie obviously is one of the big late game heroes in ML. So yeah, I feel like if it's against like a Kadita, if you don't like, it's just difficult because you can't pressure the Kadita too much on Leslie. I guess the thing you need to do is just to survive. But she ended up getting caught a bit too many times by the rough waves of the Ocean Oddity combo. So I feel like that was a key factor in their victory there as well. And a key factor in making the gold lane Kadita work. Otherwise, if she doesn't get any kills in lanes, he's just gonna farm extremely slowly because of she doesn't clear waves as fast as a Leslie might. So, and obviously limited by her mana pool as well, being able to cast her spells and clear those minions.
Yeah, but also like you have to remember sometimes. Oh, I would say like half the time it's not about who clears the lane faster. Kadita has that pressure, Once she reaches level 2. You gotta be like, okay, you know what? I need to be a bit more careful here, because if she gets me off guard, then she's gonna knock me up and take me down to like half HP. And with that, they were probably looking at freezing the lane with the Kadita. I mean, she doesn't lose much HP with her passive. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Leslie is like it's definitely a hero that can abuse her passive a little bit. So, just like snipe one shot, just wait it out. But yeah, I see what you mean by that exactly. It's just about the Leslie dying or not, really. Is that much?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at it, like I was just checking now, most of the players in Draconum Esports are legend players, so you can see that they're probably not that experienced. But I mean, who am I to judge? I was in Legend until yesterday, right? Legitimately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the skills that marksman players need to learn is effectively last hitting minions, so that it's a bit more difficult for the enemy gold laner to freeze your lane.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we should also talk about the R-Lot. I feel like that could work in the mid lane as well. It does clear lanes nice and fast, and it does gank really well. I mean, those are both traits that a mid laner sort of wants. So I guess there's no complaining with that there. I guess traditionally mid laners do like to have a magic damage component to them, but I feel like that's a bit of a flaw in ML design or ML like just gameplay. Is that like compared to Dota, for example? I'm only going to mention Dota very briefly here, but you can play a physical mid lane or a magic mid lane. It doesn't really matter. But in ML, you feel like it feels like you need to be playing a magic damage hero, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was a few seasons in MLBB history where you would take certain majors in a different lane. Like we've seen Lunox and Harrod in gold lane, of course, and if I'm not mistaken, they are going to be good or already, very good in the gold lane in this current meta. But before we did see, if I'm not mistaken, watching a few esports games like M4 or M3, I did see maybe Lilia in an EXP lane situation. I did see, what was her name? Valentina in EXP. Yeah, I saw quite a few majors going in different lanes in a couple of seasons before.
Yeah, I mean, I played in a EU tournament back in the days, and my main role for that team was EXP lane. What do you call it? EXP lane Zarsk. That was my favorite.
Zask, bro. Zask honestly was good for not even half a season. I think he was only good when that bug was on him where he could spawn like multiple ultimates. Remember before his revamp?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
that was
that.
crazy.
Yeah. Looks like we got Moba Chad playing for Draconum. Nope, never mind. His argument is that he's got the same symbol. That's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I mean, Zar's
Uncle
definitely.
Avery, get back on top.
Yeah, I mean, Zar's definitely an interesting hero right now. It doesn't seem strong at all. I still think he's a decent late game hero. I guess that's his only problem, though, is that he takes quite long to get online, because he does scale quite nicely with magic power and attack speed. Can pump in that damage, but yeah, definitely not a very strong hero in this patch. Anyway, I guess we've got Draconum Esports on a timer now, so we'll just bear with us. They might need to forfeit the game if they take much longer to enter the lobby. So please bear with us.
Yeah. Well, we're waiting to see what's happening. So what would you think would happen if you would take a mage in the EXP lane at the moment? I mean, you're facing off against heroes like Khalid, like Yuzong, Paquito, Arlot, sometimes CC. Would you be able to manage your lane and not get choked out?
Well, I feel like right now the XP lane meta is still similar to what it was like a few patches ago, where you just have some really tanky bullies, such as, let's say, like a Yu Zhong or a Rizla or something, or like even like an Arlot, and I feel like all of those heroes, even if they go full tank build, they still have so much kill threat on you. So if you were to bring like a traditional mage, let's say, I'm not saying Eudora specifically, but let's just say you bring Eudora in, because she's just like what you think about when you think of a mage. You think of a hero like Eudora, you can't really kill them. Like, you don't have enough damage to kill these bullies, and two, like they have enough kill threat on you, as I just explained. So let's put that into context of like a Lilia, you said as well. I feel like it's still, even though she has a survivability ult, I feel like she's in the same sort of boat when it comes of Eudora, when it comes to just not having enough damage to kill these tanky people and being threatened in lane as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's honestly how it's playing out in my head, where like you get a character like let's say Khalid just sitting in your bush.
By that, hello, I think it's a forfeit because one of the guys out of the 4 Draconum Esports members who are here decided that his time was up. Apparently, he had work or something to do, so he left lobby, and there's only 3 of them. They kind of decided to forfeit.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
have
there you go,
9,
guys.
okay.
That is Equilibrium Esports will advance to the group stages here to face off another team that I could not name to you right now. But yeah, anyway, GG's guys. Do stick around or keep notified we will notify you about the next game happening quite soon. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you
Yeah,
then.
the next game will start in about 25 minutes. I'm just still debating whether I should keep my stream on for the duration of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I? Okay. Anyways,
Maybe.
yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys in 25 minutes.
Okay, welcome back, guys, and we are having our second match of the evening. We have Rampage versus Invictus, and we're just waiting for them to ready up.
Just one thing real quick. It says on the
Yeah, we're just waiting for everyone to ready, but they're like, oh, 1 sec. Anyway, Doof, since you're joining me on panel, what do you think about these teams? So I see they are ready, so I'm just gonna start.
Alright, let's get into it for the second series of day 6 MLIO. And today, oh hectic, I forgot to switch. Alright, so yeah, day 6 of MLIO, we have Rampage versus Invictus Corp. Now these are teams that I have seen in game, but this will be their debut in actual tournaments. So starting off, we see the Hanzo and Martyrs bands. I'm not really sure about the Hanzo. I haven't
Yeah.
really tested him out in this patch. Have you? I mean, I know you don't play Hanzo, but have you played against it?
No, actually, and I also haven't really seen anyone banning Hanzo before, so this is a bit weird, but oh, and a Joy ban. I think somehow Rampage must be doing target ban. Maybe there's some people on Invictus who plays like those heroes.
That is quite possible, yeah.
Oh, you do see the Borg and the Martyrs ban on the side of Invictus. These are the normal bans. So, oh, and we see a Gwyn jungle being picked up by Luxie. I don't know, for some reason I thought that Prime Freaky was going to be going jungle.
Chivalry is dead, and I will revive it.
As fleeting as a snowflake breath, as timeless as a glacier.
We do see Aurora getting picked up, but I do know that they did kind of nerf her. Like, I think it was today.
Oh, they nerfed her?
Yeah, they did. That was
crazy.
the quickest nerf ever.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is they nerf Aurora, but they don't nerf Arlott. Yeah, that's just blowing my mind right now. I think it's just not balanced at all. Okay, but yeah, we do see the Guinevere being picked up, the Valentina and the Kufra on the side of Rampage, and Aurora, Clint, and Cece on the side of Invictus Corp. Still a bit not really sure what type of comp they're going for, but I see that Rampage did miss out on their third ban. Hopefully it doesn't it isn't detrimental to their
No,
gameplay.
they're banning at the moment.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Gaze upon the edge of the void.
Okay, Barat. Barat's is really strong at the moment.
Yeah, Barat's a pretty good pick. Definitely going in jungle and carry being picked up. You know, I do play a fair bit of gold lane myself, but I haven't tested the new carry out, so I'm not really sure if the same build and the same battle spell and playstyle will be relevant to the current patch of carry. We'll just have to see how it works out. and then possibly seeing a Diggy. I think Diggy will be really, really good here. Especially there's a Guinevere, there's a Kufra as well. But
Oh,
I don't know about this Tigreal pick because they do have that Valentina on the side of Rampage. That's giving them, okay, look, it's giving them a Kufra, it's giving them a Tigreal, the Implosion, you know, it's giving them the Violet Requiem, as well as Spatial Migration. Right now, Rampage has so much set potential, it's actually crazy.
no, I agree with you. I think Rampage actually has a really good draft. Yeah, I'm gonna favor their draft in this one.
Yeah, also like their draft just a bit better, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna just say that again. Anyways, handing it over to Ari and Seppi to do the commentating.
Thank you, Doof. Welcome back, everyone, to MLIO. This is going to be a second game for tonight of day 6. It is going to be, yes, Rampage versus Invictus Corp. I'm joined again by Ari. And yeah, I'm very excited to see this game. I guess I might as well give my 2 cents about the draft. I mean, Rampage have so much set potential, that is true. But remember, the game is not all about setting. Even if they have tons of set, it's going to be up to Invictus Corp to maybe play around it, you know, and just maybe do some side lane pushes, whatever. We'll have to see how they approach it. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I have to concur, man. I don't know why they opted to go with the Tigreal instead, but maybe they have, you know, they've seen something in the last series they want to replicate, or something they think will add, you know, value towards their team. But as Samara said, or rather was it Do, the set potential on the side of a Rampage is absolutely insane. But again, as we've seen in the last game, execution is very important, and it'll be interesting to see how that carries out, man. So, yeah, which side do you favor here?
Well, I think I have to go with Rampage still, just because, yeah, their draft makes a bit more sense. Even with all the set potential, that aside, I feel like even then, they still have ways to do things around the map. You know, if they're behind, there's at least a Yuzong who can split for side lanes. If they're ahead, they're really strong with the Kufra and that. Anyway, we're just gonna see a bit of a gank here onto Mystic. He does have the Detonator's Welcome. He's gonna use that to get out right there, keep himself safe. As the turtle's gonna spawn up here, I don't think that Invictus Corp can contest this. It's just gonna be up to Luxy and his friend here on this Yuzong, and looking like, oh, there it is. He's gonna steal the implosion. And probably Freaky maybe wants to go in with it. We'll have to see.
But it seems as though they decide to disengage. I think that was a very smart move from them, because they, you know, the amount of damage they were dealing on this Barats, especially so early in the game, they took him almost to like quarter HP, and for, you know, tanky hero, that's a lot. So it's smart from them. But we're seeing Zorn engage onto the Clint here at top lane, but he does manage to weave away from that. But we're seeing High End use that flicker and that push towards Zorn, and they do manage to get a kill. But now we're seeing Luke engage onto the team with the Violent Requiem, if I'm not mistaken, does get a few members of the team, but Tigreal does come back and push a few members to the side of his team, and they do manage to get a few kills, and Clint gets the double kill. And in that same breath, there is a bit of action in the bot lane. I'm not really sure when the Valentina died there. What do you think about that play?
Yeah, I mean, I really like the implosion coming in from the Valentina. They're getting the implosion onto 2. Does fall though, but so Invictus Corp are actually surprisingly coming out on top in that one, even though Rampage were like really providing a really good lead for themselves in the early game. Yeah, but yeah, Rampage are doing really well with this. With the Aurora, that ulti set up that gank so nicely. So yeah, it's looking really good here. Barrett's finishing up the War Axe, so now he's going to start doing tons and tons of damage. Oh, in the bot lane, though. Bit of a gank coming on from Prime Freaky, getting the kill on the CC. That's a really good kill for them to start working on an advantage for themselves.
Yeah, just to give this Yuzong a bit of leeway. Also to help him clear a bit, I think both teams, or at least Rampage, are gearing up for a bit of a turtle fight. As we're seeing both teams like kind of set up here.
Okay, here we go. We're going to see Highness. He's going to go in on this take. He's going to scout that front line for his team. The Black Dragons forms out, and there's the Tyrant. We're going in. The Cold Destruction coming up from Aurora. It does quite a lot of damage. And Invictus Corp are going to completely wipe the side of Rampage here. That's a clean team wipe, and I believe a turtle as well. So that's huge for them.
Yeah, that is huge, especially with the CC also getting a bit of torrent gold there. So the CC will be a bit of a problem for them, but we are seeing a bit of an engage here at the top as Hughes does decide to play that a bit safe and just give the turtle, give away the torrent. Yeah, it's interesting to see how they're rotating together. I thought maybe Rampage would be the team that kind of like wins these team fights, but the execution from Tigreal here is coming in clutch. And Slim Shady as well, coming up with the Eminem plays. What do you think about this name? What do you think about this hero, in fact?
What,
the Aurora.
Oh, the Aurora. Yeah, I think this here is so strong, man. You don't want to go on her. That like as an assassin, she's a bit not impossible to go on, but a bit difficult still nonetheless, just because that passive deters anything away. And I think as she is one of these setting mages now with that ulti, and can really just throw a team fight out of control. We're gonna see this Barrett's getting gone with the Black Dragon, gonna take him down with that percentage lost HP damage. Clint wants to maybe finish up the kill onto Zorn. He's not gonna be able to do it, and Slim Shady's getting gone on by Mungetsu. But I don't think. Oh, maybe he's gonna get the kill here. He does pop the Aurora's passive, and he's gonna make it out safe. So well played from Mungetsu there. We're gonna see the implosion coming in out onto the. Oh, it's gonna take Luxie into the tower, and now Rampage are just really winning a lot of fights here.
Yeah, and he was in a very bad position as Vendetta and High N decide to go onto him. But yeah, as I mentioned before, the rotation coming out from the side of Invictus Corp, they're really playing this well, man. They're really playing this well. And to kind of push it, I think we all had the draft phase pinned against them. So goes to show the point that we were trying to make. But Guinevere does decide to engage onto the Tig, but decides to do otherwise. On is in a very bad position as the Clint gets the kill. That's a very, very long name right there. But as the Clint gets the kill, this is a very fed Clint here on a 703 KDA. He's been involved. He has 100% participation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're 100% right there as well. And he's finished up that Malefic Raw second item with the Endless Battle. He's going to be shredding through the defense coming in from Zorn's Bouncy Ball, as well as a few of the defenses coming in from Yusei on his carry. So, yeah, he's going to be shredding through this whole game. As you can see, double E-T-T, or just ET. I'm going to call him EAT or something like that. He's finishing off the War Axe and the Brute Force Breastplate, so he's also so farmed. About almost 8 minutes here, got those two items, so he's going to be doing lots of damage. Mungetsu in a bit of trouble here. Does have the Black Dragon form to maybe escape here, but the Implosion, it lands on him with the CC ultimate. It's going to maybe have enough damage here. He's going to pop the Black Dragon form, but I don't know if he's going to make it out of this one. He's going to keep trying and running, but he's not going to make it. Zorn just had to sit and watch and bounce his own ball. I try not to make that sexual. Just watching his teammate die. He's even going to get gone on by Clint here. He's going to get sniped out. CC on the chase, but he's going to make it out with the help of the flicker.
Yeah, he was bouncing those balls to deter the team from engaging onto him. But yeah, as you said, the Clint is very fed at the moment. Almost 3 items. I see he's building towards that BOD. Especially, it's not even the 10th minute, and he'll be on his 3rd item. So it kind of shows how, farm-oriented his play has been so far, even though he has a lot of KDA. Zone giving vision here at the bot lane. I think we're preview to a bit of a skirmish I'm not sure if High-End still has that implosion. He did use the flicker into the Yuzong at top lane, so that is a utility that he doesn't have at the moment. But it's weird how they're managing this, the minions at the moment, I give them props for their rotation as they're rotating as a team, but they're looking for kills rather than utility or, geographical advantage. But we are seeing Lux engage onto the Clint as well, but I think he popped that Violent Requiem a bit too late and allowed the Clint to escape.
Well,
But in the meantime, Zorn is taking care of what Valentina. I'm sorry, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in a bit. My phone is a bit stuck, so I couldn't really see much of the team fight. So it's a bit frame by frame.
But no, it's okay. I mean, Dad, that was a pretty hectic team fight. We saw 2 implosions coming in from both teams. Unfortunately, the Deton's welcome as well sort of whiffed on the CC immune target of the Violet Requiem. But yeah, it was a really good set by Luxy, but it was just not enough. As now we're going to see Invictus Corp going to win that team fight for themselves, taking out the Lord here with that true damage coming in from the Barretts, the War Axe. As yeah, I mean, Invictus Corp really far ahead right now. Got about that's a 7,000 gold lead, I believe. So that's pretty insane at 10 minutes right now. Yeah, and Clint's almost on his way to finish the BOD, as you said. But something I wanted to point out there was that the Violet Requiem did come out on time onto the Clint there, but he had the Purify. That's what allowed him to escape in that situation. Oh, as the implosion, it actually comes out onto Mugetsu. He's gonna get caught out. Oh no, that's no Black Dragon for the high ground defense. I feel like they can really take advantage of this on Invictus Corp to take a few towers without the Black Dragon.
Yeah, also seeing Yuzong had that antique and the Clint managed to do a lot of damage to him kind of shows how much damage coming from the side of Invictus Corp at the moment. But Zone does decide to engage onto the Clint. He does use that Purify, and Zone is in a very bad position. And Dan does take down Zone, and the Lord is taken down here in the mid lane. I thought they might get an inhibitor turret. It doesn't seem likely now. But they do stay here. I think they're trying to force this inhibitor turret. But the Valentina does use the implosion onto the team, does get a few members, but is taken out. The Black Dragon form is used from Megusta. Woofing that name at the moment. He does get onto the backline of the team, but now Luke does use that Violent Requiem onto a few members of Invictus Corp and does manage to get the kill onto Highness. And Zone is in a very bad position here as Vendetta and the Barats from Mystic here are on him, but it seems as though they might end this game as they're focusing the torrent at the moment. It is a 3v1, but it looked as though he might be able to defend, but that torrent, they focused the torrent in time and did manage to secure that match point to win them the first game of this series. I'm sorry, I got taken there. What do you think about that last play there, man?
Oh yeah, no, that was really cool. The Aurora on Slim Shady was just shredding in that team fight with that big ultimate, catching the carry as well. Yeah, it just feels like Rampage couldn't really do anything. Even with these tanky builds, the fact that Clint was so fed, had all that armor pierce with that Malefic Roar, didn't really matter if they went tanky or not because he could just shred through them. Making a few members of RPG go bronze even. They are blaming it a bit on internet, so maybe we'll have to look into it a bit. But yeah, GG's game 1 going to the side of Invictus Corp. We'll hand it over to the panel to discuss the game further.
Well, that was quite an interesting game. I did believe, based on the draft, that Rampage did win the draft. But it's like, you can have the tools to win and not use it correctly. That's how I feel that situation played up. But like a few things that I saw that, Rampage weren't using to its full potential is definitely the Valentina. So the Valentina with the implosion, so Tigreal's ultimate, is, I would say, a bit better than Tigreal himself, because she does have those 2 dashes to get through into like, you know, the middle of, you know, to find that perfect spot to get as many members as you possibly can. And then obviously when the implosions did come out, there was just maybe some synergy issues or miscommunication, because they weren't trying to combo. They weren't effectively comboing with those things. Like, I don't think, maybe twice in the entire maybe 12 minutes game, I've only seen them do a decent combo twice, which is pretty bad. And yeah, what did you think of the game, Samara?
Well, it's just echoing your sentiments. Like, I do feel that Rampage outdrafted Invictus, and like they had so much of setting potential, as you did say, but for some odd reason they were not able to utilize that to their benefit. And we did see that, like, after the match, they said that it was because some of them were having ping issues. So that they weren't actually able to play properly because they were lagging. I'm not really sure. I don't know if the other team is lagging or not. Okay, I'm just checking. If it's on my end, it's fine. Okay, but everyone's ready, and I think I'm just going to go straight into the second game.
Alright, so jumping into the second game of the second series for day 6 of MLIO group stages. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that Rampage doesn't have any connection issues this time around, but we do see that Invictus Corp misses out on their first ban opportunity. Hopefully this wouldn't be detrimental to the actual game.
Okay, we're kind of seeing the same bans coming in. I see a Hanzo ban, the Martis ban, probably gonna have another Joy ban.
And not a single worthy foe.
As fleeting as a
An Aurora
snowflake's
ban.
breath, as timeless as a glacier's heart. Your team is picking.
Okay, but that left the Borg wide open, which is what they ended up taking.
I definitely think a Valentina would go well here still. Probably not a Tigreal. They'll have to pick Valentina now, to be honest with you.
Chivalry is dead.
But they opt for the Clint, and then we might see Invictus Corp picking up that Valentina.
I feel Rampage is kind of doing a copy paste of Invictus's last draft.
You know, that would be kind of crazy if they picked the exact same the exact same heroes that Invictus Corp picked up.
my craft. Diggy is my name.
Well, I mean, and they sort of can't because they banned the Aurora, but we
True.
do see them tracking down the Kadita.
But I definitely think Valentina will be much better here. I mean, already there's 3 ultimates to utilize there. It's the final slash. They have the time journey to work with. They have you know, Xbox ultimate, which I've forgotten, but no, they do lock in that Kadita.
I mean, Kadita is a solid pick. It's just that maybe Valentina is more best suited.
I don't know, because remember, Diggy does have the ability to, you know, put sorry, voice crack there. To put bombs in those bushes and just give a bit of vision on the Kadita is going to be a bit difficult for her to just camp those bushes.
Yeah. I do see an Angela ban. I don't understand why they would ban Angela when there's already a room.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen before that Angela can be played in the mid lane. We haven't really seen it in
No,
our
not
server.
no. After the nerf, her lane clearing abilities have been like super bad, so she's not suited for mid.
I am more than a weapon.
That is true. I mean, yeah, Faramus works really
Yeah,
good
she
here.
looks good there and in mid.
You'd actually be surprised how well Faramus and Diggy works. And then Claude is a good option here as well. Just for that mobility.
Come on, Dexter. It's
And
our
it does
showtime.
look like Invictus Core is going for more of a team fight sort of composition, whereas Rampage is a bit of both. So they do have Tigreal for the team fights. You know, Julian is good for either pick off or team fight, and then we have Kadita that's a pick off type character. So they can flex it a little bit depending on the scenario.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we do see them ending off with a Thamus pick, and I see they're actually going Thamus jungle.
So that's Thamus jungle and probably Julian EXP. I'm not really sure about this one, hey. You
Me
know,
too.
yeah, the Expo just like destroys tanky targets, and Thamus is one of them. So we're just gonna have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say that you do prefer Invictus Core draft.
Yeah, I actually do. Because the Diggy sort of just cancels out all their CC on the side of Rampage this time. And that Diggy Faramus combo combined with Xbox damage, Arlot's CC, and Claude's damage as well, things are looking kind of bleak for Rampage.
That is true, but we'll just have to see how they play out. Hopefully, Rampage has a plan up their sleeve. But yeah, now giving it over to the casters.
Thank you once again, Doof. We're gonna see, yeah, both teams are pretty heavy on the team fight actually. I mean, we got the implosion coming in from Rampage, but on the other side we've got like the final slash and the last insanity from the team fight. So both teams pretty armed for that regard. Ari, I guess I need to ask you what you feel about this Diggy and Faramus combo. Do you think it's gonna be great versus the team of Rampage?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a nuisance for them. Because they're very annoying heroes to go up against. But we're seeing an engage onto Hughes at the moment. He is in a very bad position and he is taken down. And in the meantime, Vendetta was taken down in the top lane. So both teams mirror each other's rotation at the moment. I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but what do you think about how they're playing this out for now?
Yeah, I mean, it was a one-for-one trade. First by going to this bottom lane, though, going to the side of the blue team. So I think I believe you get more money from burst, but I'm not too sure. We're going to see. Oh, Bugetsu had to be a bit careful with the ET there. I mean, he got gone on. He had to burn the flicker as well. Julian can probably suffer a bit against this Arlot here, especially if he goes damage, which I think he will. So yeah, I mean, looking good for Rampage, I believe, in general here. They're going to start up the Turtle Mystic. gonna start it up with that X-Borg, doing that burning damage. It takes Turtle so fast, man, with that true damage, and I don't believe they're gonna contest it.
Yeah, you mean Invictus, but yeah, the Expo does take away the turtle extremely fast. As they secure that first turtle fight, but now at bot lane, as the Blazing Duet is used up by Dan, but Zorn does catch him up with that. He does catch him in a very bad position, but the last insanity is used by Mystic, but he also is in a very bad position as Luck implodes onto him with this ult. I don't know if he'll be able to catch him, as Slim Shady, he does use that Netherrealm to save him as both teams decide to disengage. I think it was a 1-for-1 trade, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think won that?
I'm not entirely sure. I feel like Invictus Corp, I feel like they benefited a bit more from the engagement. However, they did use the Netherrealm and the time journey together to ensure the escape of Backwardon on his sword. So yeah, I mean, it was a good team fight for both teams. We're just gonna have to wait a bit for those cooldowns to be off cooldown here. And I feel like the game from this point on is going to be a little bit of a farm fest until obviously those weak team fights are on off cooldown. We do see that the implosion is ready to go. We're gonna probably see it on an engagement in top lane, or maybe make it bottom. I mean, I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Yeah, on both sides. Again, the rotation of both teams kind of mirror each other, but here for Mystic, it seems as though he's building towards that War Axe, and he's almost at it. I'm not necessarily sure about the gold difference, but I do think Thamus is a bit ahead. I didn't expect it, especially considering that Thamus isn't considered as like a meta pick in the jungle. So it's weird to see that. But for now, both teams set up, or rather, Invictus set up for this engage onto the Clint. But Rampage also, they're not really that far away for a counter invade. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But the Rough Wave is used by Freaky onto Mystic, and Mystic is taken down by Megats. That Chinese names kind of dribble me. But the jungler is taken down, and this does look like a free turtle towards the side of Rampage. I'd also like to mention this is wonderful early game management as opposed to the first game. They're managing to make a contest out of this. What do you think about this invade at the moment?
Well, we're gonna there's an invade happening in the bot lane, but there's also a team fight happening in the top lane. We're gonna see knockup coming from Julian. I don't think Mugetz is gonna get out of that one. In fact, it's gonna be in the bottom lane. Here we go back there. It's gonna be Backwardon getting gone on by the Tigreal here with the implosion. Absolutely no chance of living through that. Didn't even need to pop the flicker. Got caught by the implosion regardless. As it's another 1-for-1 trade. That's pretty interesting. I feel like this game is a lot more even than the first game. Although it is Rampage that's a little bit in the lead here. They seem to be playing a bit more better with each other in this game now than the last. And Mystic's going to get gone. It has no more armor to go with. And he's going to lose his life as well as the tower.
Yeah, man. I think he used that last Insanity a bit too early. I don't know if he was hoping it would clear some of the minions so he doesn't get engaged on. But, when you're using an X-Borg and you don't have that shield, most teams kind of take it as, their go-to time to attack you. So I don't know about his play there. But Megats engages onto Slim Shady, but it does not get him. What do you think about this Julian? I don't think we've seen a Julian in the tournament. Considering I thought he was going to go to the jungle, but it seems as though the EXP is his destination. What do you think about it?
Oh, I think it's an interesting pick for sure, but we're going to look at the top lane real quick. Oh, it's going to be a 2 kills. Or, I mean, no, it's another 1-for-1, actually. Hectic. As we're going to see a bit more of an engagement here. The time journey is available here. I don't know if he wants to pop it. The Netherrealm comes out first, but the time journey there as well. Untargetable from that Netherrealm. We're going to see the tick going in as well. And Quarter and Inferno coming from Thamus. It's going to be enough. No, it's not going to be enough. He's going to get taken down by the tower.
Yeah,
Damn,
he does get taken down by the tower. But I'd also like to shout out High Ann. I don't know if you've noticed, but before Tick used the implosion, Diggy managed to get that second skill, if I'm not mistaken, off. So I don't think.
I see.
Yeah. Ooh. So, but Kadita is taken down, and it is a shutdown. I'm not sure if it went to Mystic or who it went to, but the turtle does go to the side of Invictus.
Rakudon in a bit of danger here, getting gone on by Mugetsu, but he's the one that's in a bit of danger. He's going to get wrapped around here by the side of Invictus Corp. It's going to be really difficult for him to get out of this one. He's going to juke and jive through these bushes. He's not going to make it very far, though, I believe, as we're going to see. Oh, there it is. There's just 4 people. But he does get that dash out once again. He's going to get caught up by the Diggy. Going to get taken down with the flames of Xborg. Zorn's just I'm not going to be able to help out his teammate there, as Thamers, though, does get the middle tower. So, I mean, Rampage are doing actually a really good job in this game. Although the game is completely evened out. We see 22.6, 22.7k net worth for both teams, as well as 8 kills each as well, and 1 tower as well. So the game is literally 100% even.
It is 100% even. It's dead even at the moment. But I don't know if this even type of gold at the moment favors RSG much, or rather Rampage much, because they don't really have that late game potential. So I don't know if they should play a bit more aggressive just to try and press their advantage while they still have it. What do you think about these drafts? Especially as we are edging closer towards that 10-minute type of power spike for some of these heroes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in terms of power spike specifically, I feel that Invictus Corp do have a bit of a better late game timing. Xbox scales with that true percentage damage, as well as the Claude going to be able to pop off in these fights. On the side of Rampage, I feel like their damage is somewhat limited by their item, by their hero choices. Their sort of damage doesn't really scale too well. We're going to see Implosion coming out, but the time journey is going to be there to save them from the Implosion. Zorn is out of position right now, has the Immortality, but he's going to get pushed out. He's going to pull back to the Diggy. He's going to try and make it out with his life, and maybe the Immortality as well, but it's going to be Julian actually taking out Claude. Immortality popped by Zorn here, and Arla will drag him back into the grips of Invictus Corp, and it's going to be another kill onto Luxie by ET, and damn, Invictus Corp are coming back into this one strong, and they're going to be able to get more kills in this trade than Rampage.
Yeah, man, it was a bit of a weird play from Luxie, especially considering that the Lord will be up, or rather is up. Also that he was extremely low, so I don't know what he was expecting out of that play, but Shady does take away the blue buff and leaves the small one, so that will delay its respawn. So it's actually good. I don't know if it's good buff management or what did they call it, but just to delay that spawn time from the creep. But we are seeing Prime Freaky engage onto Vendetta, but he did miss that. But now it doesn't really have that rough waves. I don't know if Invictus will use this as an opportunity to go for that Lord, especially with one of their damage or one of the damage ults that Rampage have kind of being used.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels generally dead even here, even though Invictus Corp has gotten a bit of an advantage with it, but at the moment Rampage are proving their advantage by taking the Lord here. It's going to be a killing spree in the bottom lane, but they're going to have to trade it for the Lord here. So it's basically still another 1-for-1 trade, but I don't really know who benefits the most out of that trade.
Definitely the team that took the Lord, man. Definitely the team that took the Lord. Especially Mugens has like a 2-4-1 KDA. I don't think one kill is going to do that much of a difference. So I think they kind of played it well by using him as like a diversion for them to have that opportunity to take the Lord. So I think it goes towards them. I think trade-wise it goes towards Rampage. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess you're right. The Rampage does benefit a bit more here. We're going to see Olat's getting gone. I don't think he's going to make it out of this one. Husei is going to get the shutdown on this Ola. That's a huge kill for Rampage to get. And now Rampage are going to be able to push their advantage here, except Lord's going to get taken out so fast. But they at least pushed it down They're going to be able to maybe get a bit of tower damage onto this top one. Oh, there's a time journey committed by Highness. He's going to have to start running away from this Kadita. Oh, there is big damage coming in from Slim Shady, though. Highness gets taken out in the end. Not going to be able to connect the bomb onto Prime Freaky. And now Thamer's pushing in the mid tower here. Slim Shady going in with a flicker as well. Going to try and pull him back, but he gets taken out in the process. Mystic going in with the last insanity. He's going to blow up Mugetsu. And now, going to see a blazing duet. It's going to do a decent amount of damage, but enough. Hussein's going to be the one to get taken out though by the Arlot. And now Zorn on by himself here. Not going to be able to make it through this. Mystic getting a kill on him. Their lanes are hurting a little bit here, but I feel like they should be able to deal with it.
Yeah, man. And as for the Clint, he was in a very bad position. I don't really. I'm not used to seeing Clint players, play that aggressive. But I think his mentality was edged towards maybe they have a bit of an advantage. So he thought maybe he had that leniency, but it didn't play out, man. So but as we look onto the builds from both teams, Mystic with the War Axe, also with the Ice Queen Wand, a very useful item for the X-Borg, as you can become a bit of a menace on with that Ice Queen Wand. Also with the immortality, so he has that freedom to pop that last insanity without worry that he'll get killed after. So that's wonderful. That's actually a good item build from him. But we are seeing Lucy in a very bad position, and he is taken down by Vendetta as 4 members of the side of Invictus unload onto him. And that advantage we were talking about in the early game is starting to show out at the moment, as I think the power spikes of the teams of Rampage, other than the Clint, they don't really have that late game.
We're going to see the Winter Transition coming in from Mugetsu here. The last insanity as well. It's going to miss out. Slim Shady wants to try and chase this one down. He's going to try his best, but Mugetsu does have that escape. There's something I wanted to talk about as well, is that, this Arlot's name is Vendetta. Okay, that makes a bit of sense. With my iPhone, I can only see the 4 letters, and that's 2 E's and 2 T's.
So you're paying for useless things now. Expensive phone, but doesn't really have all the features. But now we're seeing Zorn in a very bad position. I thought maybe Invictus would decide to engage onto him. A bit of a Lord dance here. We haven't really seen a lot of those, man. Haven't really seen a lot of those.
No, as I always like to say, that South African servers don't like Lord dancing. They all just like running in at each other before the Lord, like even just letting Lord watch them. But yeah, I mean...
So instead of watching the Lord is watching them.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see a big kill by Vendetta here onto Mugetsu with the Petrify. It's going to be able to do enough. Zorn's going to catch him on the... He's going to miss out the second skill, but Clint's got the big damage with that Endless Battle and the Blade of Despair. But Lord is going to be taken... It started being taken here. Maybe Vendetta was making space for his team, as Luxie's going to try and disrupt the foreground here with Highness. He might need to pop the time journey. Yes, he does. With that Revitalize, it's going to keep him nice and healthy. Luxie is on doing a 1v3 right now. Maybe he's going to get the Diggy. Yes, he will. It's going to be the... Oh, the implosion comes in onto the X-Borg, but he's going to be able to secure it with the retribution, and it comes through. And now Slim Shady is going to try and chase down Zorn on his Tigreal, as well as that burning damage coming in from Mystic on his X-Borg. Immortality pops once again for Zorn, but the Blast Insanity is there. It's going to take him out. Godlight for X-Borg here, and Lord is going to start marching down the mid tower, and Rampage are feeling a bit on the back foot again.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a tough situation. I'm wondering how the Clint Huey and Mugetsu will defend this, as the Lord is barreling down in the mid lane, as 4 members, if I'm not mistaken, to the side of Invictus in low. Oh damn! I didn't notice how much damage the Cloud was dealing towards the base, but kind of shows that late game potential of Claude. Especially when you look at his items at the moment. He's already picked out the Demon Hunter, also the Malefic. I thought maybe he would go for a Corrosion Sight, but he's opted not to, and gone for the Rose Gold. What do you think about the Rose Gold?
Yeah, I really like it versus Kadita. It's gonna save him quite a lot of the time versus that burst magic damage. It's always good to buy Rose Gold versus that burst magic damage. maybe it's a little bit less reliable than Athena's shield, but I feel like he can't really sacrifice any damage at this point. So I really like this pickup. The Corrosion Scythe is a bit sad that he's missing out on that. He's not going to be able to do as much damage as usual without that item. He does have that Dreadnought armor, I guess, which was saving him a bit from that Thamuz sort of initiation. Not sure how I feel about it in general, though, against the Julian and Kadita. But I guess it was an early game pickup, so it's hard to say. But yeah, looking at it now, it looks like Team Invictus Corp are going to try and cut off the map, cut off access to the map from Rampage, just to maybe build their advantage even further.
Yeah, man. I'm also surprised that Invictus Corp are deciding not to freeze the lanes. As we said, they do have the late game, but the Clint can still do a lot of damage, especially with the BOD and the Berserkers as well. And also the Julian, the Julian hasn't been a slouch in this game, although the KDA kind of suggests otherwise. But Lux is in a very bad position and is taken down by Slim Shady in a 3v1, if I'm not mistaken. So it's weird also seeing their wave management here. I thought they would kind of synchronize it a bit, but Rampage deciding not to defend that bot lane. I don't know why. It seemed as though a few members were free, but they decide not to. And Dan is doing a lot of damage towards Hughes. It does get him low, but the flicker is used from the Clint to disengage just in time. And it seems as though Invictus will play towards this Lord. They won't try to press their advantage and try to look for an endgame. They'll try to play the smarter play, if you will, and go for this Lord, as it seems that it is going to be a free Lord. I don't think Rampage has the skills to contest this.
No, I don't think so either. It's going to be a really free Lord for Mystic to take here. With that War Axe just pumping in the damage onto him. We get to hunting for the Slim Shady kill maybe. Maybe he gets it, doing big damage initially. But the Netherrealm gets popped. He's going to keep him nice and safe. Now Mugetsu's on the run. Flicky coming in from Slim Shady, bringing him back. He's going to get the kill though. That's a pretty decent one to get. X-Borg still has armor here. Is going to do that damage. The Winter Truncheon is going to keep him alive for just a bit longer. But Vendetta is going to be there to clean it up. As now they're gonna maybe try and consider marching down the lane here. I mean, it's all good that you get this Faramus kill, but he's alive already. So it ended up meaning nothing.
Yeah, it ended up meaning nothing, but it also kind of does take that Netherrealm away. So maybe the Tigreal can come up with a play if he can time it right. I think they just have to focus on high end, but he does use the implosion and whiffs it. It doesn't get anybody from the side of Invictus. By the time Journey as well as the Netherrealm is used from the side of Invictus Corp, as Dan decides to focus this torrent, and it is GG. As that Lord was focusing that torrent, taking it down, he made sure not to play around with that. Yeah, congratulations towards the side of Invictus Corp. If I'm not mistaken, they do take the series, man.
They take the series nice clean 2-1. Luxie on this Thamuz didn't really feel like it was doing too much. It was doing okay in the early game, getting some decent kills onto Highness on his Diggy. But in the end, yes, Invictus Corp will take the victory. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this short for myself. As Airy, I'm sure you can take over the last final thoughts and then after that to the panels. But thank you guys for having me. I need to do something real quick, so thank you.
Yes, that was Seppi, the caster for today and the caster for most of the games that we've had in this tournament. So just a few last thoughts on the game. I am kind of surprised with the Claude, especially looking at the KDA. I thought he was doing a lot more than that. Also, his hero damage kind of shows what I'm talking about, with the 22% damage or hero damage coming from him. So I'm kind of surprised with the KDA. But it does seem as though, or rather it is suggestive that they were playing towards a more objective-oriented game, focusing those torrents. Instead of looking for, team fights, instead of looking for, those kills, he was focusing those torrents, and he did manage to clinch it for them. But now I think that's the only thing that I think is kind of noticeable or noteworthy of mention. I am kind of disappointed with Julian though. I thought it would have popped off a bit more, especially seeing how it was doing kind of towards the early game. I thought it would have done a lot more than it actually did. But well played to Invictus, man. They played it well. They made sure to, especially Sim Shady. I think he's the one that kind of came in clutch for the team multiple occasions. Those nether realms, especially when he used them, as you've seen, a lot of play kind of whiff that nether realm. They use it way too early or way too late, kind of indecisive on it. But he was very decisive, and yeah, I think his contribution towards this victory cannot be understated. But that is it from me. Let's hear it from our panelists, Samara and Doof. Um, yeah, and this is me signing up. Peace, guys.
Thanks, Avi. Yeah, well, Invictus did have a better draft, and they won in the draft phase. They won in the game. The execution was on point. I do think that towards the start of the game, they were like needlessly using the Faramis and the Diggy ult. But I mean, it worked for them, so that's something. But I also wanted to like point out that Faramis was doing so much of damage. He had the most damage in the game, and I was kind of shocked by that. Because like Faramis does deal quite a bit of damage. I mean, if you build him like, as a mage. But I wasn't expecting that much of damage, so I was like a little bit shocked. But yeah, the plays coming out of Slim Shady, that was commendable, and like he really deserved that MVP. So yeah, GG's to both the teams. I know Rampage did say that they were lagging. I think even in the second game they were having a bit of network issues. But yeah, I guess it couldn't really be helped. They did put up a better fight in the second match than they did in the first. But yeah, GG's to both the teams, and I'm just gonna hand you over to Do for his final comments.
Alright, so, well, I mean,
If Doof is still here.
yeah, oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so I am here. I think that you and Ari basically got the gist of it. The damage from Faramis, I would say it's because the only person with magic defense is actually Tigreal. If you have a look, the closest thing to magic defense would be Oracle, and that's not much, So that's probably where the damage is coming from. But yeah, I mean, but more what Rampage needs to focus on is just micro management, like how you playing your hero. I know that Kadita was missing out on a lot of pickoffs that should have actually gone through, but just missed it, and that that negates the point of the hero. If you can't really do those pickoffs, there's not much that she can offer besides that. Other than that, yeah, just focus on itemization for the future. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for joining us for day 6 of the MLIO group stages. We should have, I think there is a game tomorrow, but we will keep you updated on that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you again soon.